Emotions can feel heavy. This is how the ego stays alive, identifying with the positive and negative sensations, attaching meaning to avoid a meaninglessness, vapor, ashes, here for a flash and then gone. Move your arms, open the mysterious door, meaningless, living in your mind. Who? Who is out there? No one. Absolutely no one. The world you are in does not exist objectively. The one you are in. There is an objective world, but no one is in it. In order to wake up, you must first fall asleep. They are one and the same. Falling and rising are a part of this divine order. Opposites, yin and yang. It's an entropy, the Big Bang of you. There is darkness in the beginning until inner light is realized. Then there is an explosion in your heart as you have woken up early before the end of a dream in someone else's heart. Before the end of a dream. There are universes and galaxies inside you, every cell. Look at yourself. There are also universes outside you. Maybe you are in someone's arm. Once you realize it's not a big deal at all for universes to exist, you'll realize the tiny things in life are huge infinitely, and small infinitely. If something is infinitely huge and small, that means it is literally infinity. You are infinity. You are infinite. That's what DNA is. How does infinity not know thyself? Imagine to be infinity without knowing your name. This means every possibility exists inside you with an equal chance of never existing. Everything exists as a part of infinite chance. Every number within infinity exists, but there is a low chance of there being any specific number. But there is always a number to observe. You are the flashlight, the teacher in math class who chooses a number to observe. Your destination comes without a fare. Did you choose? What does it mean to choose? You don't choose. You are always observing what is already there in infinity. No one you know objectively exists. Okay, to elaborate on that, there might be some controversy around that. What that is saying is that the way you view someone is through your subjective lens. So the way you view someone does not objectively exist since you view them through subjectivity. Yes, they objectively exist, but not as you see them, because they're also infinity. I'll get to that. You don't objectively exist outside of your mind. You are basically in virtual reality. So stop worrying. Everything is holographic. But love, infinity. Love is infinite. You are infinity. Love is intense and is so multifaceted that it cannot be described in one degree of emotion. It encompasses it all, the good and the evil. Life is love. We are experiencing love for its complexity. No one exists the way you see them. You don't exist. How does the ego appear? What is the opposite of infinity? Zero. It is zero. For something to remain the same, it must be frozen. Permanency is zero. For complete infinity. Okay, I have not read this in a year, so let me just take a step back for a moment. For the opposite of infinity to exist would be zero. But life is always changing infinitely. Okay, I think that's... We'll break that down soon. Okay, so basically zero is stagnancy, what this is saying, and infinity is change. So life always changes. So life is in the form of infinity, but when things fail to change anymore, they cease to exist, zero. So infinity is unfrozen, flowing. It is inevitable that change occurs. To change is to love. Lack of stagnancy. Attachment means zero. frozen, opposite of love. So stagnancy and attachment are one and the same. There are infinite versions of every person, infinity being observed as one number. So let me explain that. So how I said earlier, how each person views someone subjectively, right? And there's an objective version. So the objective version is infinity, but the objective version of someone cannot really be properly observed through the subjective lens. And the whole point of yoga, for example, is to slowly clear the mind and remove that subjective lens. It's known as avidya, I believe. This improper way of seeing things inaccurately, is called avidya. And taking off that veil is to see them accurately, as seeing someone as pure love, as pure infinity. And if you see each person as pure love, you will feel one with them and you will not see their flaws. Because love, infinity, encompasses all of their flaws and all of their strengths infinitely. But to only see someone's flaws or to only see someone's strength is an incomplete picture. So this whole concept is that when you view someone, you're seeing one number. Sometimes this happens to me. I don't know if it happens to you. You're seeing one number out of an infinite array of numbers. And that person is so much more than that one number you're seeing. It's like if I go look at the number 5, I'm like, wow, 5 is cool. Like, that's a cool number. But it is within infinity, right? Yes, your perception of that person is accurate because, yes, 5 is within infinity. But your perception is also inaccurate because there is every other number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and on, or negative 5, which cancels out 5. So it's inaccurate because you're not seeing the person fully as they are. And even for yourself, this can apply for how you see yourself, this sense of self. When we define ourselves, I have a video on being undefinable. When we define ourselves, we are basically saying that I am one number in this. You know you're infinity, but you're focusing on one number within the infinite. And everyone has a possibility to focus on that same number and have a similar identity, but most people choose a different number. So it is quite insane. If you can understand this so far, that's really cool, because this was the depths of my subconscious. I was in a trance when I wrote this, and I'm not gonna give more context. It's not creepy or anything. It's just I can only say so much on the internet. But I was in the depths of my subconscious mind, basically writing without a filter, basically writing what was deep in my soul. And whether this is true or not, one possibility out of infinite possibilities. I'm not saying that this is the end all be all. I want everyone to think for themselves, question what I say. I don't even know if it's possible to embody this, but yeah, question everything. My channel is here to provide a new perspective, basically. And yeah, take it with a grain of salt. So I will continue reading this. So we ended on the 0 infinity thing. Okay, here we go. There is no supposed to. You can do anything in infinity because you are a part of God. Beliefs aren't there. They only appear to be. The illusion of observation of a strand of infinity. Inaccurate, completely. How would you know it was a guitar if you only got a piece of wood? Or a lava cake if you only got a crumb from the edge? Illusion. Go in the flow. Show us infinity. Show infinity what you want. So this, I'm going to make a whole video on this later, that you can't predict your future. but you can choose it. When you predict your future, you're unconsciously choosing it. It's interesting stuff. You so desperately want to tell others of your realization, but you can't tell those you think you do, since they all exist in your mind. And this doesn't mean, people might think this is a narcissistic viewpoint, like, oh, you're the only one in your universe. This is not this form of thought. This form of thought is saying the people that you want to tell your realizations with, the people that you want to share your feelings with, yes, they do exist, but they don't exist in the way you think they exist. You're seeing them through your lens based on your past experiences. And the person you're telling these things to, like, isn't the person you think they are. Because they are infinity. It's basically infinity trying to tell infinity they are infinity. It's like, maybe they already know. Or maybe they don't. I'm still figuring that part out, honestly. But it's crazy. It is crazy. This is insane. Okay. So, you can only move to higher forms of God by floating, hence letting go. So surrender, basically. You'll be at the top once you let go of you. A defined version of you. Oh my gosh. Infinity is zero. Like, no more weight, right? Because all the numbers combined, all the positive and negative cancel out to zero. If you open the rubber band, so it's like so do I have a hair tie? Yes, I can show you guys this. So you have a hair tie, and this is infinity, right? Demonstration. And then you let go, and boom, you got zero. Boom. Infinity, let go, zero. Nothingness. Devoid of form. But also, the beginning and end are one. Zero is one. It's whole. It's complete. It's a whole pie. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh my gosh. So, we are everything and nothing because everything equals nothing. For something to be formless, it is nothing. Every number combined is zero due to duality. But every number combined is also infinity. The infinity is love. Nothing, everything, existence, experiencing the illusion and realizing infinity is an illusion, so it's all zero. But you are one number within infinity. Everything that can exist does exist. Whenever you imagine, you are either observing another universe. Whenever you are observing. Oh my gosh, let me restart this sentence. Whenever you imagine, whenever you imagine, you are either observing another universe or teleporting to one. So basically, imagination, you can either observe it from an external perspective or you can literally teleport to another universe. This is like the whole manifestation thing. I'm not really getting into that deeply on my channel, maybe at some point, but it's more like the law of assumption. Yeah, but there's so many videos on that already, I don't know if I'm going to touch on that. What if you realize you are always in your imagination? Build it physically or teleport it to you. Use it like acting. Sketch out a new character and play her. For 21 days, you are already a character. You forgot you are the actress. If this isn't real, then nothing is real. So who the F cares? It's all zero. To teleport something to you, teleport to it, and it'll teleport to you. Mirror. You are playing tag with each other. Some essence is trying to teleport to you, and you are trying to teleport at the same time, so you keep missing each other. Okay, this is a whole tangent that I'm going to skip over. Oh my goodness. There's only so much I can share on this channel. For now. Maybe one day I'll share these things that are even more out there. This is already really out there. Walking on hot coals of self-acceptance, all messages inside. Give it half a chance and the world will find a way. It's just me writing the song lyrics I was listening to. Never repeat this life. Infinity above. Don't give more or less than 50% of yourself to anything. Weight that you carry is love. Is love heaven and hell? Okay, that whole segment, I don't know what's going on there. Is love heaven and hell? Addicting things hook your attention and make everything and nothing seem impossible. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm so excited to show you guys this. The drawing is too small here, so I can't show you there. So I'm going to redraw this. It's this whole concept of religion and the illusion of religion. Shoot. I'm going to have to make a whole separate video on this. And it's going to be controversial once again. But you know, the best videos are the controversial ones. So, I have a marker. And we got a notebook. You know what? I'm not using that notebook for this. That notebook's too special. Hope that there's space in this one. Okay, there is space. Okay. So, you have infinity, right? This drawing's a little lopsided, but you have infinity. And if you draw it the other way around, it'll look like an 8, right? This is the 8. So let me draw this bigger, actually. So this is duality, right? So you have the positive and you have the negative in duality, right? So we label the positive as good and we label the negative as bad, as heaven and hell. I don't know if this is inverted. Hopefully you can see that this says heaven and this says hell, okay? So, up and down are the same, right? So the absolute value, so let's say you have -1 in here and you have 1 in here, right? These are one of the numbers in infinity. The absolute value of -1 equals 1. And the absolute value of 1 equals 1. So they're the same. They are the same. So the deepest suffering, the absolute value of that is equivalent to the absolute value of the deepest bliss, which I can't wrap my mind around still, mathematically. But this whole thing is that viewing that heaven and hell are an illusion, because once you add everything together, you just end up with 0. It's just 0. Once you unravel the rubber band, once you add the numbers, you end up with 0. So this whole concept of religion is that there's duality, there's separation, and this oneness is just distorted into heaven and hell, positive and negative. It's just distorted into 2 halves. The halves of separation, complete separation. And once you unravel these 2 halves, you get completeness, oneness, wholeness, 0, infinity. So it seems to be that when we exist in infinity, there is an illusion of heaven and hell, because in infinity, duality exists and love is infinity. Love is infinite. But once you unravel infinity and you see it for what it really is, everything is one. I still have to process that because I'm trying to explain it and I'm still not I was able to understand this a year ago when I wrote this entry, but oh my goodness. If you hear background sounds, it's a laundry machine, but oh my goodness. So much to unpack here. I'm going to have to study this more mathematically. There are other concepts too that I want to talk about. But let's move on. Okay. The illusion of infinity is here now. The illusion of heaven and hell. The illusion of duality. Okay. So I think this might explain it better. I'm going to repeat that again. The illusion of infinity is here now. The illusion of heaven and hell. The illusion of duality. This illusion of separation that we are in, or that I am in. It's all one. God. Love moves. Love caused the Big Bang Theory. Love is something you cannot measure. It is infinity. Love is change. Everything and nothing can exist at the same time. But everything is more than nothing. You are part of everything, and nothing is also a part of that. You are everything, including nothing. Because within infinity, you have zero. Zero is still, nothing is still a part of everything. Everything is possible if I just get off my phone. Look at situations objectively. The box has no connection to anything. Just go out there, get off the box. Or is that too real for you? Just start. The more you take action, the more you will create. Last page. It can't just remain a thought. If you really care, you'll take action for your vision. Stop trying. Just take action and meditate without resistance / too much water. It's like when you have a plant and you overwater it, it dies. Because deep down you want it to die. Only someone who does not know how plants work, or someone who is intentionally trying to kill the plant, will overwater it. Action plus meditation without resistance equals flow. Lack of doubt. We are always becoming. You still go with the flow of action. Don't resist the flow. Do things as soon as you feel urged, if you have pure intentions. When you hesitate, you break the flow. There is no wrong choice. There is no wrong choice. Obviously, in terms of choices that don't harm others or yourself. Like, intentionally. There is no wrong choice, just a choice. Always make the best choice in the now. So my analogy for that, there is no wrong choice, would be a tree that has many branches. I just remember one day, I was sitting in front of a tree, and all of these branches were just in my face. And I felt overwhelmed. I was thinking, there are so many possibilities to take in life. I could choose this branch, or this branch, or this branch, or this branch. Which one should I choose? And that's the dilemma with life purpose that many people have, which I have had, is that we are so fixated on which branch we should choose, but at the end of the day, all the branches lead to the tree trunk. Yes, if you make this decision, there are pros and cons. If you make this decision, there are pros and cons. Everything is balanced. It'll find a way to balance out. So, the worst decision is making no decision. Because stagnation, zero, is nothing. Love is change. Love is evolution. So, let me know what you thought of that journal entry. Yeah. You are infinite. I am infinite. We are all just floating in the cosmos right now. It's crazy stuff. Crazy stuff.